Adam, you've been doing some cool things for clients like that run full reports on their ACE data, and then they're just sending you the reports, and you've got like a slicer or dicer or something like that you're plugging into it and kind of producing some reports and volumes, values, those kinds of things. Can you maybe share some of the things that you're doing with
So one of the things that we do, it's all based off that AM008 report, and we ask a client to run a full year of the data. And what we do is we'll go back and we'll look and we'll compare everywhere that maybe you claimed a free trade agreement. And we'll look through those and say, does this even make sense for you? You know, maybe you claimed NAFTA on something and you only saved $7. Well, was that $7 worth the regulatory burden and the potential risk of doing it wrong? You know, and then we look at the other side of that as well, and we say, well, wait a minute, you know, you have all of these products. Let's use Korea. You ship from Korea. You haven't claimed the Korea Free Trade Agreement, and you could save $47,000 in customs duties. Why haven't you claimed it yet? And then we might get a response, oh, we can't get information. But that kind of gives us a way to help you say, you know, where do I go from here? You know, most of you have, you know, large import programs. You import from multiple countries, and you want to make sure that you're spending, you know, your time and resources are limited. And you want to make sure you're spending your time and resources, you know, in the correct place. The other thing it's easy for us to do is look for places they shouldn't have been claimed. So, you know, there's a lot of no transship type provisions inside of most free trade agreements, and it's not uncommon for us to see, let's say, that something shipped from, you know, Korea, but then it shipped to another place, transships, and then shows up somewhere else. You can't claim Korea Free Trade Agreement now because it transshipped, and that information is actually captured inside of that report, assuming your broker filed that entry correctly, because the country of origin and the country of export at that point are going to be different locations. And so that is something that you can't just claim. Or, you know, maybe you have cargo coming from Germany because you're buying it through maybe your own related party there, and it has items from, maybe it's Korea, Singapore, in that container. Well, we can't claim free trade agreements on those. But we still see it time and time again where clients have, and it's an easy way to kind of run through and check and make sure, hey, we didn't get in trouble here, we're doing it all right. Or to, like I said, to go the other way and say, well, we're claiming this, but we're only saving $7. Is it worth it? You know, the other thing that we can go through is, you know, which manufacturers are we using? Running that report is also an easy way to make sure that, you know, we know who the brokers are. There's a lot of you who maybe say, I only use 2 brokers, and we run that report and we find 6. You know, those are things that are good to know for everybody. You know, maybe you have a rogue business unit, maybe you have a rogue broker, you know, or maybe it's the worst of all that, and you have someone that's impersonating you as an importer. You know, we've seen all 3 of those happen, and it's a good way to kind of run through that and do a quick double check to make sure you have a good idea of where your business is and what's going on. You know, we've done it for a couple of clients, so we've kind of saved that report layout, that functionality, so when we get stuff, it doesn't take us very long to turn it back around and kind of provide back out to say, this is what we're seeing, this is where we see the problems are.
That's a great service, great service. And I think people need to think about that in ACE. Again, we're in a digital world, an information world, so getting great information is going to be really important.